El Paso's Congresswoman Escobar holding a roundtable discussion today with local gun reform activists and stakeholders.
This comes after the president signed a bipartisan gun safety bill into law. KTSM 9 News reporter Stephanie Shields is live from the Lower Valley with what was discussed. Stephanie.
Well, Andy, this is here at the El Paso Healing Garden, where this was created to remember the 23 people who died in our own mass shooting tragedy here in El Paso. Now, Escobar asking the question if this bill is enough to prevent these types of mass shootings that have become all too common in our country. Last month, the president signed the most sweeping legislation designed to prevent gun violence in nearly 30 years. And the $13 billion compromise package includes expanded background checks for young gun buyers 18 to 21, blocking convicted domestic abusers from owning weapons, new penalties for illegal gun purchases, and mental health and school safety funding. Now, Escobar is speaking with local groups, including law enforcement, on what lawmakers could do to reduce gun violence even more.
We're going to provide a law enforcement perspective because, ultimately when gun violence occurs, criminal acts where somebody does use a gun, law enforcement is the first to respond. So, what we see, what we interact, what we're seeing, in our arrests and our day-to-day activities as law enforcement is important to bring to this perspective as well.
Now, Escobar says something to watch for is Texas's next legislative session, which is in January. And in the meantime, Governor Greg Abbott has asked for a special committee to investigate school safety and mental health in police trainings. Now, something that was passed in that bill that Escobar says she doesn't believe will happen here in Texas is those red flag laws that this bill now incentivizes the states to implement. Now, even though John Cornyn, a Texas Republican senator, was a key component of this bill, Governor Greg Abbott has said repeatedly red flag laws will not fly in Texas. Andy, Natasha, back to you.
Stephanie, you mentioned this bill grants funding for both mental health and school safety. Do we have any idea of when this funding will actually be released?
Well, Escobar says the funding needs to go through the agencies as quickly as possible, but she does bring up a concern of hers, saying she fears that this money could be diverted into other programs, citing how recently hundreds of millions of dollars were recently diverted from state agencies into Operation Lone Star. However, the governor has not made any mention of these intentions at this time. Back to you.